did the attacks show us new trends in online radicalization? And if so, what are they, in fact?
I think there are some similarities in when we look on both. On the other hand, they are a little bit different, at least completely different. So, because if we look at the Magdeburg attacker, um, we have a person which was, yeah, lived in Germany as an asylum seeker for since 2006. And from 2016 to 2020, 24, he worked as a psychiatrist in Germany. So he was, yeah, embedded in life, and he was also working as a doctor. Um, and he was also very publicly known because he was very visible on social media. He wrote a lot of tweets on X, and he was very well connected to journalists because he was something like an person who tried to help other women who had trouble with the government, so or also with their yeah, political Islam or whatever. So he was very active, well known. But at least we realized, because there was an ongoing discussion, was this a terrorist attack or was it more an amok? And for now, officials say it was more an amok, not a terrorist attack, because there are some missing points, like having a constant ideology, having a goal, or having a clear something like the Oslo Breivik had, so that there's a manifest or something political he wants to tell, and there was nothing like this for their attacker from Magdeburg. And if we look at their attacker from New Orleans, he was also very well embedded in life. So there was a family, kids. He had a constant CV with different jobs, also in the army. So he was well educated. Had, yeah, these two kids, at least some financial problems and trouble with their yeah, with his ex-wife, whatever, and then there was some criminal records, but nothing big. And then there was this moment that he decided to change his life totally and planned this terrorist attack. And for him, there was a clear connection to a political ideology. So he was converted to the Islam in advance of the attack. So there was an idea of he wanted to show something. He wanted, or he had a message for the world, and he wanted to have this signal. So they're different if we look at them. Also in the result, what they did. What's something similar on both sides is the online sphere, as you mentioned, that we realize there is this online space for the Magdeburg attacker. It was mostly on X, which was something like a bubble, like a reference room for him, where he was posting a lot of things and very aggressive, very violent postings. And maybe also his bubble pushed him, not because there are a lot of interactions, there were less interactions with his posts, but he was part of the bubble, and all the information by their algorithmic bubble, which was displayed for him, maybe described a very, very bad world and a lot of trouble for him, and at least a very dangerous world, because he thought just to, yeah, he thought just that the German government didn't do a lot against extremism, against Islamism, and he feels like he is the only one who could do something against. So that was his, yeah, his life and his online bubble. I think at least the whole online offline discussion, I think I'm skeptical because, as you mentioned, it isn't new that people are getting radicalized online. Um, we also knew about the New Zealand attack and the Oslo attack, that people used the online sphere to as a messenger for their ideology, for their ideas. So they do live streaming, they do publishing manifestos into in the online world, and on the other hand, they are interacting with different people all over the world in these radicalized bubbles, and they push them sometimes. Not personally, so these radicalized environment, they push them not personally and telling them you have to do, but as I mentioned, for the Magdeburg attacker, it's just the environment which is telling you, okay, you are the one, you have to do something because the world is getting better and worse and worse. So start something, do something. And that's, I think,
So
the
it's sort of call to action.
it's a call to action. And I think that's the big issue for X, for all these social networks. They have to think about what is their responsibility, what could they do, because people, like everyone, we don't divide a lot between offline and online. So that is at least one world. We are sitting here speaking online. So it's just a medium for us for communication and to get information.